Good evening to you all. Hope you can see me. Can you see me?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, sometimes my signal, that is a connection, may break because due to unavailability of commercial power supply at this stage and my area. But I will try my best to do the presentation through my mobile. Now today, that is a starting point that I want to describe a little bit on emerging engineering technologies and related applications. Today is the world. Now, we know that the technologies have been evolving since the old ages. And the technology is as a result of the discovery of scientific findings. Meanwhile, what they have done, the humans, they use their advanced brain. It is unmatched to anything. So they wanted to find that how that is we face for the challenges and threats looming from natural disasters and man-made disasters, etc. Because we know, and in the ancient history, we have actually most of the civilization that is started near the river banks. It means that Egypt, even that is India, that most of the civilization, they have started from near the rivers. The reason is that when the technology is not developed, they had to depend on a lot of resources, and because people could not live without air and water. Of course, then the food. But that is the food somehow they can found, but on the water, the issues, so therefore that but finally those they thought of getting water to face in the droughts. So they they thought of having irrigation systems and how to irrigate this water and how to protect this water, how to keep this water to use it non-rainy seasons for the betterment of, so for the use of human beings. So this is a simple example. And now they realize that, sorry, once actually they fulfill the basic needs like shelter, basic needs like air, water, food, and shelter. Now the secondary needs were emerging. Secondary needs, of course, like nowadays, you can think of a lot of secondary needs. That is a modern transportation. It is a secondary need, and you need a separate vehicle to keep at your home, and some other forms like electricity. Now electricity is not all, is old technology, but when the people that is until people found the electricity, transmission, generation, and distribution, they depend on other forms of energy sources, hearths, and sometimes coal-fired, that is furnaces at their homes. Now, it means the people are now talking of quality of work in life. Quality of work in life. So in the quality of work in life, it means when people are advancing, that is a people want to living with certain luxuries. Now, for example, in a mobile phone and telephone was a luxury, and 30 years ago, even 34 years ago, I can remember that when I was posted as regional telecommunication engineer at Mathura, we had only 1,800 telephones in the district. Even no one could afford it, and telephone was a luxury. It is status symbol maintained by many high people and influential people and rich people. But now, telephone has become just another pen or pencil. That is everyone's hands. You can see the in a pocket. You can have whatever kind of phones. Now, therefore, the technological advancements in this world change the working life, change the social status, and everything. But nevertheless, still some people, they still are fighting, struggling with ways and means to meet the challenges of their life. So it is actually, we can see that is why that we are talking of the digital transformation. Nowadays, a digital transformation is a buzzword among most economists, politicians, even engineers, accountants, etc. Engineers, they know that digital is 1 and 0. It means, but it actually, it is, the meaning is more than that and beyond that, 1 and 0. Because it means actually we are talking of digital gap. Digital gap means accessibility for the resources. Accessible to resources. If in a developed economies, we can say digital gap is minimized. Under developing countries, we can say digital gap widens. Digital gap means accessibility to the facilities. It means in the developing world, digital gap widens, and under developed world, digital gap, no digital gap at all. And but under developing countries, it widens. Digital gap widens. Right. Now we move into a little bit subjects that how that is certain technologies that they have changed the world. Now I will start with that about artificial intelligence. Now that everyone talks of, actually this lecture is not meant for teaching that in and outs and bits and bytes of artificial intelligence or other form of things. This really gives an outlook and eye opener for the engineers who are who are coming from the various background and disciplines: civil, mechanical, electrical, electronic, that is mechatronics, biomedical, etc. Right. That is, artificial intelligence is now the buzzword using. We'll have to understand what kind of it is. It means, for example, now a machine. Now we know the. For example, I can tell you the machine that we have to use always that keyboard. What the idea you have with your mind, you will have to transform into thoughts. From thoughts that you get an action. The resulting action you interpret into computer keyboard. So that computer keyboard understand only what you input it, where you input it. But artificial intelligence is little bit beyond that. So it means that, for example, that you need to perform some tasks. Now, for example, now with the Google Maps and virtual assessment such as Siri, everyone is now comfortable with Google, the maps. Now, so now before we plan a journey or when we start journey, that we can just open up our application and put that is a destination. And it says that at it takes 3 and 4 hours, sorry, 3 and 30 minutes to reach to Kandy or Colombo. So that is a few years ago that we also have a doubt that whether we can go at sharp time. But now actually it's more accurate. It collects data from various forms, and it normally calculates. It calculates that what is the average traveler speed if you take the highway and if you take the high level road, or if you buy the car, expressway. So then really that is a day like think that decide that to give information to you that this is the best way you can go, that even you reach the traffic jams and the mark in the red color and other etc. So for example, like sometimes that is a spark spam filters. We know spam filters, though there are some errors, it if you have a very good email client, once you receive a mail, if it is not very familiar with your mail pattern, it actually finally it was moved into spam filter. And another thing I can say that security systems. Now in security systems, it may be the information security system, cyber security system, or the physical security systems. Now we know that sometimes we have, for example, we have the pet dogs, and sometimes that is in our domestic. That most of the time the dog is the pet as a domestic servant. Some dogs are very intelligent because they know, especially German Shepherds, they are very intelligent, and they know that who are the people regularly visit to your place. And it detects one smell that even regular person, sometimes they know that which area they are allowed to visit, even a servant. So if that is a particular person visits some upstairs without permission, that is the dog will not spare him. So this kind of artificial intelligence, this is actually that is not a human intelligence, animal's intelligence, but in a artificial intelligence, it can be used, for example, detective systems. Now there are some surveillance systems installed that in some areas. They know that each and every employee, their pattern, their come, their faces, and what they carry, etc. And sometimes even a stranger comes, they don't check even identity card. They don't need to check it. So they know that he's a stranger. System knows that stranger. Even if you check the identity card, that he visits some other unauthorized area, they know it is not allowed. So it gives a buzz and it is given alarm. And those are actually, that is artificial intelligence. You can use artificial intelligence for the many applications. Unfortunately, that we are not going to use it, even we have not thought of doing it. Now, for example, that is artificial intelligence can be used for the health, such as in agriculture, etc. Now, for example, there is chatbots, logistics, and now self-driving cars is the newest concept tried out in many countries, and even virtual nursing assistants and very personalized textbooks and tutors. That is, sometimes I can speak before a computer. That is, I want to get some tuition for the chemistry. So they can ask you questions. So I can speak up. After speaking up, they understand that what level that is the particular person, what is his competency level. So there are a lot of applications you can find in that. Now, Being engineers, that is your duty, that is to find that is appropriate technology and how it can be used. The technology should not be your master. That is, it should be your slave. Be mindful that even the technology, you can use it, but with the proper control. So that means that in artificial intelligence, you can do a lot, and your organizations, your home, and wherever. For example, nowadays, a looming threat coming for the cyber security. Looming threat coming from the cyber security, because we know most of the intranets, so these intranets and intranet, you know what is the meaning of intranet? The intranet means actually that you have internal information systems in your offices. It means the internal information systems. So it means you have internal IT network. It is really internet, but we call it intranet. Why is we call it intranet? It actually that connects between two machines, two people who are registered only a domain. So even for take an example, a banking network. Now in the banking network now, now is connected through the internet. Even interbanking also now connected via net. In the in a banking system, now we can open account from one area, Matara, then we can get cash from Jaffna. So, and we can transfer millions of bucks from one account to the another account within a second. So it is now what, but meanwhile, now most of the bankers, now they introduce a digital banking now. The digital banking means now I can use my internet connection. Internet connection means I can use, I can enter into their periphery and their boundary and periphery in their network as a stranger, but I am authenticated only by using my username and password given to them. But still there is a risk. When I entered something about my credit card information or bank account information, that another stranger, without knowing that he can create some virus in my machine, he can collect some information. So those things, those are the looming threats in the digital world. But if you introduce artificial intelligence, a cybersecurity system, the cybersecurity system that they know what is the pattern, what is that is abnormal pattern. So it can be used for that, right? Even if you visit IEEE magazines, and you can see a lot, even artificial intelligence can be used that to telemedicine, and some even can detect cancers well in advance. That is, you have a proper process in place. So now next moving to that, 5G and Internet of Things. 5G and Internet of Things. Right? Can you see my screen in the full form? Presentation mode, you can see the presentation mode?
Yes, we can see, sir.
Yeah, in the present, I'm asking presentation mode, not the slides photo mode. You can see the presentation. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, fine. Now 5G and Internet of Things. Now you know that nowadays no technology can exist without ICT. You know the tapping power of ICT is potentially very high, right? Tapping power of ICT is potentially very high. You know that Internet of Things means that is how that is your devices. You can connect between devices. For example, you can switch off your refrigerator. Refrigerator also a device, and your mobile phone also the device. So how can you connect these two devices in the device level to control? So it is device to device we are talking, but through the net. So therefore we can say it is the Internet of Things. Now another buzzword is coming, that 5G, that 4G and 2G, 3G, etc. I am not going to explain about that. Is a roadmap for the 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G, etc. Because, and you know, 2G is just a video. Sorry, that can you kindly that can you kindly mute? Can you kindly mute? So only I should only speak on that. Right. Wait a minute. That is my power connection restored it. So I want to switch to my Wi-Fi connection. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It takes some time. Yes. Yes. I want to test once again. I okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now the 5G and Internet of Things that and now when we talk some device to device, that some applications may be mission critical. Some application may be mission critical. The mission critical means actually this is real time data transfers. For that real time data transfers, you need a very reliable connection, data connection. So therefore now Internet of Things, now even you can operate successfully with 4G, but more to come with 5G. Now, for example, that wireless technology will provide backbone of Internet of Things, which will expand the power of the internet beyond the computers for the wider range of objects, process and environment. Smart cities, robot-driven agriculture, and self-driving highway systems. Now, you don't want to explain much on this one because actually you have already experienced that. But unfortunately, whether we have used these systems still in the country. So that is the sad story and tragedy, catastrophe. And because and for example, recently that one of my colleagues asking that whether you have a trusted application to know about that is the fuel availability of the country. It is not the technology issue, it is the process issue. My answer was that. It is a simple thing that is someone that is the controllers, that is who send the dispatch the fuel to all sheds, dealers. So then definitely they have a very good system, smart system, that they can broadcast message and update information. So then they can visit there and get their fuel. So those are the, but I am not going to say that it is a too bad in situation. But now, unfortunately, we are still far behind compared to India. Because I can even now, for example, in recently, in my personal experience, I share with you that when I do some consultancy work, that some people that ask him to send a quotation, that only by the registered post, by I asked that is you have a corporate mail. So they said, no, sorry, sir, that is you can't send it by mail. That I got the answer from engineer. I got ashamed because actually that an engineer says email is not accepted. Then I asked why there is a no, sir, we cannot do that because this is the quotation. That is, I said really sorry that he and asked me to go and that is a post it to the going to the post office and that is a put in the registered post. I totally that is gave up that idea because actually I did not waste that is my time. So that is the whether we are using 5G and Internet of Things, the food for thing. In Sri Lanka, we can use that. For example, even a banks that we have introduced and everywhere, right? Another thing that the serverless that is a computing. This is really in ICT area. It means now serverless computer means that now for example now what I'm going to say, the computers now you know the server client requirement. Because server client requirement means you, for example, say you are an organization, you have to keep the servers everywhere. So, sorry, in a central location, but you can pass the traffic from the central location to your local offices every time. So you need additional bandwidth for that. But thing is, all the processing you do in Colombo and passing the things to here, so up and down traffic. Now it is serverless computer means actually the peering, that is a you hold no resource and also allocated. When they need only the computing power auto scales. So these kind of things actually you understand about the serverless computing when you are doing the special ICT transformation. And you know another thing is a biometrics, and the biometrics is actually we know what is the password paradigm. Password paradigm is a very that is a bitter because always now even to have a password now when I was working in SLT, I must be thankful that SLT has a very good that information security system. In the IT systems are very highly secured. It's very effective. And IT systems to have a protection, they are our password automatically. That is a password reset will come to us and by a mail. So we'll have to choose a new password. The only thing is that when you use a new password, again, previously used passwords, we cannot use it. You cannot recycle it. And it should be a very complicated with the many characters. So therefore now, that is also sometimes tedious because we'll have to keep that is password under our desk or somewhere. It is also sometimes not secure. So therefore, it means actually that is the biometrics now. In the biometrics, that it means, you know, when you open a bank account, that they have taken your biometrics, right? And the blockchain, you know, the blockchain is really that thing is very uh, very complicated thing that. Now, in the digital denomination rise in business, because traditionally we have a centralized record. Now, in a centralized record. Now, or most of the records are decentralized. It means that is your records are not stored in a permanent place. Some record, your birthday is recorded somewhere, and your full name is recorded in another place. So it means it decide make it difficult to lose the records or tamper with them. That is a blockchain, the data sciences. So I can share with this presentation. But the robotics, of course, that is you know that even the COVID days, actually we use the robotics and for many things, and now together with sometimes the drone technology, etc. And natural language processing, that is another discipline that is aims to develop a system that can analyze, communicate to human language. Now, I have covered these things. It is just an overview because you are from different backgrounds. So today, what I am going to explain about another very good that is a timely subject about how we can use technology. How we can use technology for the agriculture. That is, this goes as agriculture as a service. Right. Now, in this emerging world, now the mobile devices are the leading technologies. Actually, now everyone using these mobile technologies, and it has become a part and parcel of our life. Right now, even we have seen that even a people they are not literate or semi literate or fully illiterate. They can somehow use a phone. They can someone use the phone, right? Even no exception for the farmers even. But unfortunately, there is only few people they have touched this area. Now, we can get some examples from the other countries. Now in India, India is our neighbor with lot of biodiversity and the vast land and different races, different religion, second largest the population and the largest democracy in the world. So, and it is a country with a significant, sorry, there's a spelling mistake, is significant biodiversity. It has more than 74% of its population depending on agriculture. Now there is another buzzword coming as the mobile cloud computing. It called the MC2 framework and can be used farmers to organize their farming because conventional farming methods lead to annual loss of approximately 37, which can be controlled by the agro-mobile agro-cloud. In Sri Lanka also, now the farmers are struggling with various reasons. I am not going to talk that subject about the fertilizer. The farmers, they have faced the looming threats from the different, because sometimes they don't know that is when they get water. Even Sena caterpillar, they kill their harvests. Right. So, and we know
Excuse
you
me,
have
sir. Excuse me, sir. I think you are sharing a wrong. Hello.
okay, sorry.
Sir, I think you are sharing a wrong presentation.
Now it is okay, no?
Now it's okay. Okay.
Is that okay now? Okay.
It's okay.
Right. Yeah. Now, Now, what is the concept? Now, therefore, in actually, this is the Indian scientist, which can be applied even to Sri Lanka. That is, they have conceptualized another framework, agriculture as a service, right, to support farmers, not only farmers, that is the all stakeholders in the agricultural industry, to automatically monitor and control diseases in the crop fields using mobile phones that act as a farmer's third eye. Now, this agriculture as a service now, it has become a farmer's third eye, right? Now, you know, the mobile devices, such as smartphones, tablets, equipped with ever increasing memory. High-end cameras become a prerequisite to today's modern lifestyle. It means everywhere, you know, that is smartphones, but very expensive, and tablets with ever increasing memory. This is really speaking now. Today's memory will be outdated tomorrow because you will have to go to the larger memory. Those days we talk of the that is a megabytes, but then the gigabyte. Now we are talking of the terabytes, and sometimes we are talking the processors in the 2.5 gigahertz range, and we use a high-end camera and to modern lifestyle. That's example only. Now, meanwhile, and we know the cloud computing. You know the cloud computing. The cloud computing is that is even as civil engineers you can understand a little bit. I will tell you that is a cloud computing. I means for example, say if you have 3 or 4 computers at your office, see that is a desktop computer. Say that is a Nimal, Kamal, and someone using 3 computers, high-end computers. But thing is, when Nimal is using this computer, not using the computer, Kamal cannot use it. Kamal capacity is not sufficient. But Nimal's computer, you have sufficient storage. But you can't use it. Then what you are going to do? You order another hard disk, additional hard disk, and you go to the upgrade. Someone also doing the same thing. So, because now as the computer is become now personal property, that is you are now you don't like others to share, come and share your passwords and it. In a cloud computing means that now, for example, that these 3 computers can be combined to one computer, and there must be an administrator who can allocate the resources to you when you want it. On-demand resource allocation. This is called the cloud computing. So it means the cloud computing is mainly for, then you don't need even to have your 3 high-end computers in your office. So you can get the service from the cloud computing service provider. But you need only a normal laptop or desktop. You don't need any high-end high-end device unless you are going for the game. It means I am talking that not only 3%, maybe 100% working in my organization. If you are going to spend the 100 computers, desktops, laptops, now rather than using it, you can go for the computer cloud. You can allocate then the resources through username and password, and your data can be stored in a healthy, in a secured way. So we need only a internet connection, and we need only just a normal personal computer. So why I'm going to explain it now. I told you that, for example, now say if you are working in RTA, the Road Development Authority, you need sometime all your computer systems. You will have to install main server in your head office. And National Water Supply and Drainage Board, also they have to install their computer servers in the head office and a lot of computing that. And another buildings department also they want to do that. So it means for each and every department, organization, institution, you have a lot of servers installed, but half of the server capacity are not utilized. But when you are not utilizing it, when you are not utilizing it, what you do, others cannot use it. Finally, this is a government money. You have incurred a lot of OPEX, CAPEX for that, capital expenditure. So then, just think, instead of using that, now if you have a one computer cloud, we can call this as a government cloud, but it is there still is the government cloud is still is you. But I am talking the concept is that when the government cloud, is there, so then your water board and RDA and business department, even a health department, what we can they can virtually allocate their resources from that cloud. You just want to have a PCs only. Of course, PC is required, but high-end servers are not required. So then you can get that totally. That is the entire your information infrastructure. Information infrastructure as a service. You can get a service from the trusted government cloud. It is government cloud, you can get that service. What the service? You can set the billing service for the water board. Irrigation, you can get the payroll as a service. A payroll application, only that you can use. You don't want to get the servers and everything. You need just an application. Similar to that, now in agriculture, you can get as a service. Agriculture as a service. You can use in that is agriculture entire framework. Yes, that you can use, that is a monitor systems. Farmers, you can offer a service to the farmers. How their plant is growing. When did they go to do the water and etc. So you had to fix certain cameras. Of course, now you can ask the question that that is whether the farmers have that ability, affordability. As you can see, if you go and check the government overheads, how many officers we have deployed in the agriculture sector as agriculture inspectors? How many vehicles you have allocated? Then how that is the colossal sum of money is used to pump fuel for vehicles. Right. Sometimes they have to go very far away distances to carry out just a small job. Right. I'm not going to say that to have a master layoff using the technology. I'm against for that. But my concern is the efficiency, the effectiveness. So then you can easily monitor, surveillance and control. So then, of course, if you compare with that cost, but I have not done any research, but researchers you can get from the net that it really that is alludes, it justifies, right? That money that is you are going to spend now can be minimized, can be easily controlled, can be brought down if you use the technology. But be mindful that not only the technology, you can use the correct and proper policies and processes in place. Then this can be used for agriculture. That is why I have told it. Now, in agriculture industry research and application and overview, if you go to the world, that is a journals published in the worldwide and a lot of articles, you can see the world population more than 40% annual losses, including 19% losses due to bacteria, virus, or fungi attacks. In India, the industry directly controls the socio-economic condition of the nation. Still, substantial amount of Sri Lankan economy depends on agriculture. The technology, especially ICT, have not yet properly reached farmers in India and Sri Lanka due to illiterate. Because actually, that though the most of the people they use the computers, they don't know how to use the digital app. That is, we call the illiterate. But some people semi-literate. So that is I am telling that while that is we introducing the technology to various services in the country, we should be mindful that we use this, we introduce should say that there should be another social transformation is required. That is called the digital transformation. Digital transformation is a social process, not that is an engineering process. It actually creates a value change, it actually new domain. It inculcates new culture. So, and therefore, we have to go that in parallel. Now, coming back to our subject, this is technology especially have not properly reached farmers in India and Sri Lanka due to illiterate, semi-literate, and simply unawareness of complex advancement, that is a digital gap. Another issue is that affordability issue. We know that is the 1 pound of the bread now has gone up to rupees 300, nearly rupees 200 or 300 range. Now, even therefore, there are mobile digital devices such as smartphones, tabs will go 10 or 15% in months to come, unless our economy restored. We hope that we will be able to restore it. We have to always think on positive note. So, in India or in the world, we witnessed a green revolution in 1968. If you go to net, you can search. An evergreen revolution in 1996. An ICT revolution. Many farmers and related industry have failed to gain enough production from traditional technologies. That worldwide economies, that world strong economies, that is especially India, unlike us, You will have to understand that their research arm is very strong. Though they have the poverty line, some areas people dying in starvation, dying without food and water in streets. But they have upward momentum. Now, you know that Bangalore has come as an IT park in Southeast Asia. So they have also some American companies that hired Indian nationals for their positions. Now, therefore, that ICT revolution, but still they are unable to get the enough production from traditional technologies. Now, what are the key obstacles? The majority of farmers are poor. Then they own only a small piece of land and cannot directly use existing complex ICT technologies. Existing, I am telling. As an example, in last decade, agro advisory solutions, you can go and check the web and mkrish, which integrated the pest management system, but failed to serve end users. It actually used a personalized and integrated to illiterate and semi-literate and literate farmers via mobile phones to connect their stakeholders to get information on whether market prices to boost their yields. The cost of the high-end smartphones become a major issue and barrier due to high cost, which cannot be afforded by them. Then, what are the new solutions proposed to overcome these barriers? Now, I told you that they introduced it. We can introduce even, but why they failed it? Failed it because actually the affordability, and sometimes technology is also complex. Now you know, now in this world, what people expect. Now, for example, if you use a banking app, even a banking app, sometimes it is tedious to use. See, still the biometrics have not been introduced. The password issue. Sometimes you will have to scroll up and down. Sometimes you will have to get that is OTP, one-time password. Again, you will have to open another tab, but only thing in the phone, you cannot open another tab. You have to go to the application and come back. So even a normal person, sometimes it is that is they cannot do that. Still, that is artificial intelligence. Still, we know some our mobile phones and applications are still not used apparently. But I am talking about the with respect, which means it means relatively. Now, mobile phone, you know, have limited resources. Because our mobile phone, if you use many apps, what will happen? That is, you will use it energy. And you need a lot of bandwidth. Sometimes your bandwidth connection should be very stable. To have it, you must have either fiber connection or strong 4G signal. And computation as well. You need high-end phone. For example, say you have to go to Samsung Galaxy or Apple phone, iPhone. To enjoy, that is, enjoy the real benefits of some digital apps. But how many of us we can afford it? Now we are talking about our target audience, the farmers. You can't. Now, therefore, another framework or technology, the mobile computing tool that overcomes all such issues. And It makes it more flexible and make it accessible and reliable. Uh, can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Now, mobile computing too is overcomes all such issues and make it more flexible, accessible and reliable as usable on large scale. Now we have two applications. One is a resource hungry application like AR. Here AR means augmented reality. Someone can note of that augmented reality. Augmented reality means that is now we know actually when we that started the mobile, sorry, that is landlines, we were never dreaming of text and messages. But when it comes to 2G, that is, we were able to send a text message. When 3G and 4G, that is, now we hardly use the voice and instead we use that Instagram, WhatsApp, Viber, or other social media platforms, etc. Messenger. So now, but when you want to use it, those application in a one device, your device should have that power to do that. Now, for example, now we want to get now augmented reality means sometimes we can visualize what is real world. Real world things we can visualize by the models, like a block diagram form. Now we know that is in a paddy field, you can see that many plants and everything is there. Now with that, you can, if you are going to use that is a video stream. That is the problem of video stream. You can get, that is, you can, farmers can get the view from their home, the video stream, but you need a high bandwidth. And your computer should have a high processing power. But if you can get a model of that is that is you are not the actual picture, but it's a model form, so that is enough for him to take a decision. This is called the augmented reality. You don't want to get the picture as it is because you need information for decision making. Kindly note that the information is not actually that is, but if you want to see want to watch a movie through the Netflix or iFlix, you need a high-end device at your home. You should need a proper bandwidth. You should need proper bandwidth connection, and you need a high-end device that it can play with the proper sounds, hi-fi stereo, and 5.1 experience, 3D experience, etc. But in this particular case, what farmer need is that not to have a thrilling experience, but he wants to see that whether which area I need more water. You don't want to see that particular scene as it is. But you can good that if you can get the as it is. But earlier I explained that it is you get that exact picture. You need a video streaming for that. It is costly. But in here, he wants some information to make a decision. Kindly note that what kind of what piece of information you need to have that decision. So this is now overcome by augmented reality. And those are called the resource hungry applications. And resource poor application are fierce in computers, because computer resources are poor. So, phones. But resource hungry application, augmented reality, challenging each other. So AR is a resource hungry technology that provides the extra visual knowledge to the user, making nature at in phenomena easier and more easier to understand. While doing it through the augmented reality, that is you can get the real picture, not the real picture, but provide the extra visual knowledge on this. Right. Right. Now, this cloud-based MAR framework, farm work, it should be a framework. The cloud-based mobile augmented reality framework, it enables agriculturists to monitor and control pathogenic attacks in early stages. Here, that is agriculture specialist, agriculturists. They can be informed in advance. And it optimizes the energy services and energy consumption of the mobile devices, the farmers. The farmers' mobile devices, you can use even a low computing device, you can just get a picture only. That is a farmer's knowledge you can use in send by text messages. But they need only just a message. You are this area, you don't have water now. Please supply water, that kind of thing. So by bridging the digital and a digital agro information bridge, then farmers don't need to buy a Samsung Galaxy or iPhone, latest iPhone or iPad. Good that they can buy it, but the affordability is an issue. The real-time human mobile interaction, HMI, and computer vision provide farmers and researchers see-through technology. This is called the see-through technology. You know what do you mean by see-through? Everything is visible. And this solution fits in every pocket, even those of farmers, making them smart. It means, here smart technology means what? S means the specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is realistic, T is time bound. They don't want to see a movie about their 3D movie on using the phone. And this is another paradigm shift and one kind of digital transformation. From a farmer working hard, we know farmers are working hard with traditional methods, to a smart farmer intelligence using AAAS. AAAS means agriculture as a service. Here, the intersection of growth of mobile processors and communication technologies combined with agriculture as a service deployed and used as next generation farming. Now in here, if you look at this agriculture industry researchers application overview here, this is the real environment in the left-hand side. Now in the right-hand side, augmented virtually, it means that you have using the AAAS and agriculture as a service cloud we introduced together with augmented reality, then augmented virtuality. It means a smart farm. Then here left-hand side, you would see on the 2D. And when you go to the right-hand side, you can go 3D and 4D, etc. Now in here, infrastructure as a service, product as a service, service as a service, and DS as a service. We go to next slide and next slide. IaaS means a mobile clones versus VMs, computing resource and AAS as managed. We can get the mobile clones because mobile, you know what do you mean by mobile clone? You can get it as a mobile, another mobile phone. And PASs at CV machine learning tools, AR tools, and other development tools. And here that SaaS, species and disease identify, disease estimation, leaf and plant damage estimation, pesticide controls, monitoring soil prediction, nutrient efficiency, right? And that is crop analysis, education, weather prediction and forecasting, policies, crop and fertilizer, and information, natural disasters, map location, notification and alerts, reminders, auto updates, others. And DAS means a data storage. You can store the data, right? This different, you can see that this pyramid is here. IAS, here agriculture as a service, you can provide these lot of service layers, data as a service, product as a service, information as a service, and service as a service. You can say that. Okay. Now, I think now this covers, you know, right. Now in here, wait a minute. Right, in here, you have to understand a little bit service as a service. Sorry, software as a service. Software as a service, it means now, for example, now this service is enjoyed, can be used, for example, say pesticide control, monitoring soil prediction, nutrient efficiency. Those things can be used. Sometimes species and disease information you can use it for the agriculture inspect. And disease estimation you can use as agriculture research. And leaf and plant damage, etc. Those things, and here mobile CV, and here we can use that these two agriculture totally as to the agriculture department. And then this as provided as to the farmers, etc. Now, here the services. Mobile clone service. Provide a clone of mobile compute, including storage of messages, pictures, and vendor videos to deploy the service on a new mobile on the fly in case of existing mobile is lost. Even you lost it, that you can go get another application. Another phone, you can get it done using the password and etc. Or sometimes biometrics. You can use the biometrics. If you lose the phone, you can go to the app, you can use the biometrics and you can log into the system. You can see that what happened, your crops. And here on-demand service, actually we don't want to subscribe every day. For example, if we need only this service, data service for a certain period, you can subscribe only for 2 months. But not always. Right. And pay per use service. The use service you can pay only for the use, not for whole. And augmented reality services provide digital knowledge in animation or pictorial format to make understanding without a reading required. So what you can say that in a farmer, you can see that the Sena caterpillar now is in, there are many Sena caterpillars near your, what you call, near his land, in a through, by a cartoon. So this is augmented reality and multilingual and multifunctional services. A service offered by agri services, another continue, HMI service and context awareness service and energy conservation. So finally, I can conclude that before conclusion of that, this is the another platform. Either your mobile phone, and you can get the mobile phone from here. Your 2G or 3G, 5G connection, AS manager and AR, and here this is, you can get, this is a package, and this can specification, these products can be offered. Right. In a conclusion, what do you want to say in a conclusion? In a conclusion, you can say, as actually agriculture is facing a range of serious challenges in worldwide, especially in the Sri Lanka, particularly in developing countries. Of course, the growing population has heightened the demand for food and changed lack of infrastructure, rural areas especially. So in here, the most important part is that farmers must get information at the right time and the right place. So therefore, this kind of solution, policymakers should think of introducing to the country, and engineers, scientists, agriculturists, some other social service organizations, they can flock together, can get, have politicians should make a proper policies, and we can implement it. By doing that, we can get a good yield, and we can get a lot of benefits. Benefit number one is we can effectively use the resources, and we can think that we can do the preventive action in advance, and we can really use the energy, and which means sometimes save the fuel cost. And for example, effectiveness, because if one farmer has to look after 5 or 6 paddy, that is the paddy fields are located, located in a scattered places. Locations are scattered. He actually need not to go there. He need not to go there personally. Only thing, he can visit on the critical place, the place where you have the critical problem. Other you can monitor it there, but he should be affordable to him. So you'll have to think. So having said that, I will conclude my presentation, and for this technology part, because I'm not going to cover all the technologies, it is useless, because you can go on the net and ask that. But in here, I hope that you enjoyed. If you have questions, please ask. Now it is the question and answer time. What's your comment? You can give comment. Yes, can someone speak? Can someone speak? Can someone speak, please? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Amal, can you hear me? Yes, one Jayasundara asked question. What is the possible level of applicability of these systems in Sri Lankan agriculture? Yes, very good question. First thing we'll have to do it, this system actually, it talks of framework. The way of implementing is we'll have to think. We have a very good ICT infrastructure throughout the country, thanks to the all mobile providers. That is, they have actually had a giant step and doing well. and building infrastructure. So infrastructure not an issue. Again, that is another now we have cloud service providers in the country. Chelty, Mobitel, Dialog, Lankan, etc. So it is also not a problem. And we have a lot of places and the resources. But now a dollar issue is there, but it's not a big issue. I hope that is after it's settled it. What important is that commitment and dedication and interest. You can start a pilot project in a non-area. You can start easily because we have everything, but we don't have any enthusiasm. So our policymakers, policy planning and the other things, they even don't think of this. Attitude issue. They can try. Only the people have to join together without living in silos. In our country, the biggest problem is that we don't get the combined effort with the team spirit and synergy effect. Scientists, agriculturists, engineers, policymakers, etc. Easily you can implement it. Easily you can implement it. But not this system as it is. You have to customize it. Before customizing it, we'll have to make sure that we have to deploy proper policies and processes. Definitely there will be some resistance will come. Because some people, they say they may lose their jobs. That is why you need to do first in social transformation. Awareness. You'll have to get rid from the fear psychosis, etc. Hope that I have answered your question. But Kalmani, is that okay for you? You have more questions, Kalmani? Yes? What do you think about generally this lecture? What is your comment? I need your comment really in a even constructively you can criticize. I like for that. Because I made a lot of effort to explain by you my own words, using my own words. What's your general opinion? Can someone speak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have that question that regarding this is a very
Yeah.
important thing. This we can apply the agriculture because
Yeah.
I am a civil engineer, so I can get a lot of information that this here. So I want to know about how to develop the because we can get weather information like that. We can get it from past, but we want to make some information because we want to know some crop and fertilizer percentage, how can manage with the soil categories like that.
Yeah.
So we want to do that prepare for that proper database, no? How can manage this
Yeah.
with
Actually
data
speaking,
and like that, because
yeah, I know. But actually speaking, that is we have agriculture research institutes and we have some agriculture department database. They have all data because they have spent a lot. But unfortunately, there is a term called the walk the talk. The word is walk the talk. We have all information. We have done very good research. All statistics we have. You can get from the real agriculture ministry or information or research institute, etc. But unfortunately, no one has come forward to take the leadership to make this research into actions. That is the problem. You can get. Of course, you can get it. Even you don't want to get that is a very accurate information, but you can, as I said, you can have a very pilot case in the non area by selecting a few farmers or that using your own software and so it is a but only thing proper enthusiasm is required for that. I hope that I answer your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is this presentation useful for you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because of the real-time data or in past data, we have to face a lot of difficulties because our government organization or any other private organizations, so they always hidden some security data by developing some database. So that is a problem in Sri Lanka, I think.
Yeah, no, but thing it is because we have, of course, now when we think of the data, that is, of course, we have a data protection policy. Now, Data Protection Act is in place. But this information, not a, it is a, that is how many that is attack came from the Sena caterpillar and how many that is a pesticide the controls took place and what are the other diseases. Those are actually not a, what you call classified data. Those should not be stored in the X files. This should be open to the public. I think the government information is policy is also not that. You can get that. If you can do that research, even not research, even not I hate word this research because many people have done research. If you don't want to get some information, we can also institution level we can help that. Not a problem. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
What else that is you want to know from me? I think I will share this presentation with you all. Hello. You want to share it using the chat box? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, wait a minute.